And now it's time for
Forum feedback.
You ready for this, Rob?
Oh, I'm ready.
Nice to see you made it.
Nice to see you remembered me.
I was totally busting it to get down here in Bing Swafford, and I left you at the office.
Yeah, you did.
I know.
Then I get a call. It's like, hey, where are you? Like,
I'm sorry.
I'm waiting for
That's
you.
fine. I know. I feel bad. I'm sorry. So let's get right to it, shall we? From Knight's Landing, is there really any chance that a player is capable of finding one Bengal carrier? How would the UEE react when they notice one of their ships being manned by unauthorized operators? And if you're not in too much trouble, could you be hired by the UEE if you and your crew are proven elite carrier operators?
That's a lot of questions.
It is.
So let's answer the primary one first, which is that it's not like you go, around the corner and they're parked right behind the fence.
Where do they keep the nuclear vessels?
It's probably going to be, we're talking down in the fringes somewhere. Maybe out in Vandal's space, a carrier that lost a battle. That's a little banged up. We'll call it a fixer-upper.
Fixer-upper, okay.
And so if you want to refit it and get it back into working shape, and that's going to take some effort and some defending it, then, yeah, you could fly it around. But it's not like you can bring it back and park it in the front yard and say, hey, look, we want to be your buddies. It's not going to happen.
All right. From Gorlock. If and when a bounty hunter tracks you down and sticks you into a stasis bed for transport, how is the time handled for you? Likewise, when you die and wake up in the hospital, will there be some sort of respawn timer that scales up based on how long it takes for a rescue team to recover and transport your body? Time dilation seems like a no-no for all things in the persistent universe.
The time dilation statement is kind of a different topic entirely.
Right.
I won't address that one. But essentially the idea is that we want you to keep having fun. So we're not just going to say, we're not going to let you play the game for the next 2 hours.
Right.
So what's going to happen, and we've talked about this a little before, is that when you get kidnapped or captured for your bounty, for a moment, for some period of time, and that we'll have to fiddle with that until we find the right, the good feel to it. Sure. But you will be in stasis, and then you'll pop back into respawn, and they'll still have a clone of you. Not really a clone, but the idea is they'll have
an NPC.
They'll have a cargo that is their bounty.
Cargo of one?
A cargo of one.
Right.
And so the idea, same with respawning, is that there's going to be a period where you're out of action, and then you come back.
Right. The yellow zone is for unloading and loading, the cargo of one. From Plank, for the $14 million stretch goal, we got a fourth land option on Earth. Being the Earth loyalist I am, down with this Terra hype, I'm very curious to know if the city has already been defined by the team.
Terra forever. So, no, I think is the answer to that. We're still discussing which ones we might use, and we may come up with an interesting way to decide that in the long term. But we don't know what the fourth one is just yet, and we're trying not to focus on building landing zones on Earth initially. We're going to try to build them all over the place so we have a good test bed.
That's going to be a stay tuned, and I'm sure we'll let people know how that works.
14 million was a long time ago.
It was. Thank you guys very much. From Atalan, would we need to spend money for R&D in our factory? If yes, will it be possible to share our knowledge or discoveries with other factories' colleagues?
So there is a concept of expanding your factory, expanding your productivity, changing what you can make. It's not necessarily just a straight throw money into R&D, but more the idea of you need better equipment, different experts, and more people to make this thing. There may somewhere down the road be some sort of R&D idea, but really the idea is that to make a better thing, you need the right permissions from the manufacturer, and also that you need to have the right facility.
Cool. From Tsum Uranus. There may be something nasty there that I'm probably getting wrong, which is probably better for all of us. When you say an attack or raid is legal as long as no one else witnesses it and thus informs local authorities, it makes sense regarding NPCs. Kill them or capture them. Take the hall, make sure no one can rat you out. How would that work with a PC? Even if I kill them, will they still not be able to report the attack after being revived?
So I think that we can see how this person is leaning from the way the question is worded. It's like, it's not illegal if no one saw it. No, you're still breaking the law. But what we're doing with that is that you need proof is sort of the idea. If you kill somebody in space that is more patrolled, that is closer to the center of the UEE, then there's probably going to be little pigeon satellites there to convey the data back and forth. And so your ship immediately says, oh gosh, this guy's attacking me. Probably doesn't say gosh. And starts broadcasting that out, and that information is immediately transmitted. If you're killed somewhere where that's not available, or someone's jamming those, or whatever the case, then what happens is, sure, you can come back and go, hey, so-and-so killed me. But they're probably not going to believe you. So there might be possible mission play there where you send a friend out, or you go out to try to recover your transponder from your ship to prove who done you wrong.
Cool. From First Ancestor, in the persistent universe, will the RSI forum names be used to identify our in-game characters, or will we be able to name them separately with our own unique names during character creation?
In the long run, each character will have his own name,
Right.
his own handle in the game. Right now, we're in an intermediate stage, so you're going to probably see your forum handle in dogfighting. But
And there's a comm link about how that's going to work,
Yeah.
so you can always go back there and check that out. It's really cool to get that information. There's a good write-up on that. From Trapjaw, being that you plan to release expansions for Squadron 42 in the future, will these expansions revert to a single co-op format of the original Squadron 42, or will they be rolled out as missions available in the persistent universe?
So, by nature, an expansion to Squadron 42 would be in Squadron 42. But I think I understand where the question is going, in that there will be some like small story arc type things that will appear in the persistent universe as content. But the Squadron 42 additions are Squadron 42 extensions.
Cool. From Scarnet, if we get killed but our ship is still in one piece, will it just stay in space until someone steals it or destroys it, or will it despawn after a certain amount of time?
So probably if there's a ship just floating out there in space with nobody in it, somebody's going to come along and
Find it?
borrow it. Find it, yeah. Recover stolen property and forget to return it. But in the long term, we can't just leave a bunch of empty ships floating out there, so we will have to eventually despawn things like that. Now, it's not going to be as fast as, say, like debris from a fight, but eventually things go away.
Cool. From Polly, is there any thought about possibly adding a drive before you buy feature when purchasing ships in a game? Maybe there could be a set course that we could test out ships.
There's not any current long-term plans for that. I guess they just don't trust people on the car lots. But
Right, the ship lots.
at the same time, like subscribers right now can try out ships that they don't have in dogfighting. So
That's true. They have a test pilot badge.
Yeah. So
Lets them try it. So what you're saying is subscribers have it pretty cool.
yeah, right now they have pretty cool.
It's a pretty cool advantage. From Geek Hippie, aha! Travis Day says, there was one last discovery made this week worth mentioning, however. We've noticed from our cross-studio playtesting on the back end that Santa Monica has, without question, the best dog fighters in the company. Do you care to comment about that?
That may be somewhat exaggerated in the reporting.
Exaggerated? To be fair, they've also been dogfighting the longest,
That's
since they
true.
are the team making most of the dogfighting. So
They're better at using missiles.
yeah, well, that's because they had a lot of practice with that. So it's for now. Maybe for now we'll let them have that.
Our testers can hold their own
Our
pretty
testers
well.
can hold their own too. They probably, and you've knocked a few people out too.